Athletes collectively for the team total time. We're moving from a 21-15-9 snatches and chest to bar pull-ups for both male and female to a 12-9-6 snatches and muscle-ups for the male and female. These are very similar to the events we'll see later this evening from the individual side. Fortunately for them, they only have to do one part of that.
That is what lies ahead for the 9 teams here in heat number 1 as we get set to look at how they are going to line up here. CrossFit Galileo right there. They're going to be in lane number 1, the team out of France. Some veteran teams know how to navigate not only team competition but split into the individual components, and that would be Fort Vancouver in lane 7, Invictus in lane 8. Hustle Hard has some games experience, so they've been not only working together, but they know how to kind of chop it up in these type of events.
Well, you know where to put your athletes in the best positions to succeed, and that's a big part of this event is because it's so individualized. It's a relay style, but there are 2 different pieces to this particular event.
Lone Star CrossFit out of San Antonio, Texas. And there is a look at CrossFit Invictus. As they get set, second time this week these teams have come inside. Warm one today, Chase, in the lower 90s. I'm sure they're glad to be indoors.
Who doesn't love AC?
Underway, and it'll be the first female. They'll go a 21-15-9 of 55-pound snatches, then chest to bar pull-ups.
And the game that you play here with the other athletes you're competing against is that it is a very lightweight in terms of a snatch. What's even better, it's a power snatch, which means they don't have to squat it to complete the rep. So what you're going to see a lot of these athletes do, or at least try to do, is to go unbroken for the entire round, and that means a 21-15-9. Personally, in my opinion, I don't have the ability physically to hang on to a barbell that long. On the men's side, it's 85 pounds. But I'm pretty good at pull-ups. And so the idea is that I don't want to blow my grip up and take away from something that I'm good at. So a concerned break or a deliberate break, I think, is good, at least in the round of 21.
It appeared that only Galileo and Norte Redondola are the only 2 teams that broke. The rest of the females now on their way to the chest to bar pull-ups. Here we go in lane 4, Army green shirt on the right side. That's Hustle Hard CrossFit. You get the chest to bar. A lot of times you see in your affiliates from athletes making a mistake going too deep. Just need it under that clavicle, under the collarbone.
And that comes from, you know, it's a lot of excitement, right? You feel jacked up, you're ready to go. It's you alone on the competition floor in the Coliseum for maybe the first time ever on the individual kind of limelight, and you overpull just a little bit. The problem is that we're not coupling this first portion with something that is complementary. And what I mean by that is you're going from a pull with the bar from the floor to overhead to a pull on the bar from overhead to your chest. And that just means you're doing a lot of grip intensive work and a lot of pulling. So what we'll see is round 21 is going to look drastically different than I think what round 15 and 9 might end up looking like.
Just saw Danielle Spender, a 2-time games vet from Hustle Hard. Now, Hustle Hard could do well, the 2 females. They have the best 2 women coming in. They were actually the 6 best women in the open. So that should play to their favor, and it'll be up to the males. But the 6 best pair of females, Lauren Herrera, the other female, who will go later on in the 12-9-6 rotation of this couplet of snatches, and then she'll do bar muscle-ups.
And so the round of 15 is that all-encompassing kind of make-or-break round. If you know anything about traditional CrossFit, the 21-15 format, it's that middle round of 15 that makes or breaks the athletes. We've seen it in Fran when we couple thrusters with just regular pull-ups, or any other format that has this descending rep scheme with a couplet for 3 rounds. Is that middle round is where your athletes are truly tested. I'm not impressed by anyone that can go unbroken in the round of 21. I am who can hold it for the 15 and 9 after that.
Hustle Hard on the left. Again, Danielle Spender, that's CrossFit Norte with Dondola on the right side in lane number 9 in the gray top and the pink shorts. Again, this is the first individual females going through the 21-15-9 of snatches and chest to bar pull-ups. So they'll turn it over to the first male. Their snatches will go to 85 pounds.
You just see how challenging that 55-pound barbell has ended up being towards the end.
Lane 5, CrossFit Douala. Back to Norte Redondola, and here is Douala. They're 2 females, Katie Casey and Corinne Francis, a 2-time game team veteran. Got the big kick there. That's Katie Casey, one of the new members for Douala.
And I'm looking across the bar at the moment, and I see athletes failing all over the place. I mean, on Invictus's side, Jen Ryan just broke up the last set of 9 in 4 sets. I mean, that's what's going to happen here on the floor as the women will pass off onto the men's side, as you have a couple of them starting their first set of 21-15-9.
Douala and Norte Redondola, the first 2 males to get on there. And now you have 4 teams of their first male on the 21-15-9. There'll be 85-pound snatches. They will do chest to bar pull-ups as well.
Now on the men's side, it's still the same 21-15-9 rep scheme, but the weight is 85 pounds. And when you think about it, that's not a bad weight. In fact, that's the perfect weight to entice a lot of athletes to get maybe a little over their own skis.
CrossFit Invictus on the right side of your screen in lane number 8 out of San Diego, California. They're a veteran team, but they've got a lot of new competitors. They've got 3 different teams. This isn't the team that particular that won the affiliate cup. A lot of members gone, those veterans from Invictus, but still CJ Martin's affiliate qualifying multiple teams. Walking back for Invictus, that's a Ricky Moore. He'll roll the barbell forward. He'll get into the next set now into the round of 15.
All right, now you got the 15, and this is, we say snatches. How about muscle snatches? So what that means is watch his legs as he extends and pulls the bar over his head. They just stay locked out. He's not jumping. He's not dropping underneath that. That's a straight up pull. There's an advantage to this. It's faster. There's a disadvantage also because it makes you grip the bar harder. You have to pull the bar with basically straight upper body. The only problem is that, like I said before, is that these aren't complementary movements in this event. They're redundant, which means it's the same action. It's an upper body pull.
No rep on the second pull-up, but he's in his rhythm now. He'll break about 7 or 8 reps in at the bottom of your screen. Black shirt and the white shorts again for CrossFit Invictus. That's Ricky Moore. Invictus currently leading by 13 reps over Douala and Hustle Hard.
And this is kind of the question I was posing earlier is like, why not just break in the round of 21 if you're going to break in the round of 15? And the only reason why I say that is because a break in 21, or should I say 2 breaks in 15 now, will save you time in the later rounds. If I'm not capable of going unbroken the whole time, don't even try it. Break once in the snatches, maybe on both sides, and go unbroken on the pull-ups. If you break on pull-ups, which takes, the number of seconds to the number of reps that you had, wasting 15 to 20 more seconds because you went unbroken in the first round wasn't worth the time.
Side view there, Chase. You talked about the muscle snatch, and Ricky's going to stick with it as much as you can, but he's got a little jump in it now in the round of 9.
Right, and he can go through that. So here's the thing. It's like you're very strong, but I also need you to be very smart at the same time. There should have been a discussion earlier is what is the benefit, the cost benefit to going unbroken on the snatches in the first 21-15-9, but then breaking up your round of 15 twice, not to mention breaking in the round of 9 twice. There's absolutely no excuse to be breaking in the round of 9. You've come too far too late into this, and your team is counting on you. If you would have broke one time in either end, you probably could have gone about 30 seconds faster.
Did a 5 and a 4 there, as you mentioned, breaking in that round of 9. Now, Victus will go to the second female. Now, once you get through the second pair, the second female is going to go 12-9-6 of 85-pound snatches, and now it's going to move to a bar muscle up.
Well, here's the fun part. What do the men just use for the 21-15-9? 85 pounds. What are the women using once they get to 12-9-5? 85 pounds. So this is the challenge. It's the weight of the movement as well as the skill difficulty on the pull-up bar.
Second female here is Tammy Wildgoose. Jen Ryan did the 21-59, but Tammy Wildgoose gets the 12-9-6.
Now here's something we haven't seen yet to this point, but we will see often is singles on the right side of your screen. And it's not a bad plan to do if going touch and go is going to damage you on the pull-up bar. Now what I'd like to see is that if I can do singles here, at least quick ones, and unbroken on my muscle-ups, as far as bar muscle is concerned, then it's worth the time and energy.
That's Lauren Herrera, two-time Games team veteran for Hustle Hard CrossFit in that Army green top. Third straight CrossFit Games appearance, all team for Lauren Herrera. Meanwhile, CrossFit Invictus, Tammy Wildgoose, you called it, Chase, gets up there and really excelled with those bar muscle ups.
Oh yeah, and that, I mean, unbroken from 1 through 12. She'd cycled the bar well at the 85 pounds, having very deliberate breaks, and that's what you want to see at these heavier weights and higher skills.
Meanwhile, Lauren Herrera as well, very deliberate, did the singles, using her strengths on the bar muscle ups. And I really do like how Tammy Wildgoose approaching these snatches, hanging on. Now breaks there, but you see that slight pause at the top. That's where she's grabbing her split-second rest, keeps those lungs and the diaphragm open to breathe.
Yeah, if you're going to cycle the bar, resting it over your head is the place you want it to be. It doesn't make it less grip intensive because you're still hanging on and it's still putting pressure on your hands, but it's a lot better than that hang position at your hip or just dropping in between.
Victus with an 8-rep lead over Hustle Hard, 14-rep lead over CrossFit Douala here. And this will be the third individuals of this, the second female, and there'll be one individual left. It'll be a male that will come on for these teams to do 12, 9, and 6 of a 135-pound snatch, and they will do bar muscle ups as well.
We said in the previous set of the 21-15-9 that the 15 is kind of the gatekeeper of the portion of this event. That's the round of 9 here when we move from the heavier snatches to the bar muscle-ups, but unbroken again, so good breaks on the bar. If you can hang on to that pull-up rig, you have a major advantage on the rest of your competitors.
So now a second to chalk up for Lauren Herrera. Has completed her 15 snatches. She did well in the, not 15, excuse me, the set of 9. Did well in the 12, took her time and raced through the bar muscle ups. We'll see how that plays out here. 3 less reps at 9. Let's see if she goes unbroken again. She is on the right side of your screen. Invictus on the left. Tammy Wildgoose in the pink top. And again, that's Lauren Herrera for Hustle Hard on the right split screen in the Army green top.
You see and start to labor a little bit when you see that one arm come over the other. And what that means is it's a first sign of fatigue and grip failure, because obviously we all, we're not all perfectly symmetrical in terms of, one hand will be stronger than the other in terms of grip, and when the weak one starts to go, you start to see that one arm over the other.
The 10 reps worth about 1 minute and 1 second, so 61-second lead. And Tammy Wildgoose, bottom of your screen in the maroon tank top, white shorts, is through. And so now here comes Invictus, 12-rep lead, and that's going to be their final athlete for the 12-9-6 portion of event number 9.
And what they did is they saved the big dog for last. Bryce Smith sitting at 6'4", 215. The other 3 athletes on our team, we got 5'6", Ricky Moore, 5'3", Tammy Wildgoose, 5'2", Jen Ryan. I bet worm work isn't the best thing for this guy and this lineup of heights on his team, but what you saw Tammy do was unbroken on all her bar muscle-ups. What he's going to have the advantage of is his size adds to strength. But also, the taller, longer athletes, him doing the bar muscle-ups is actually probably a better position for him just because of range of motion and the time it takes per rep. A bar muscle-up relative to a chest-to-bar pull-up, 2 or 3 times slower. You want to have a smaller, quicker athlete doing the chest-to-bar pull-ups to cycle through. The bar muscle-up is a bit slower for everybody, so putting him at the end for his size was a good call by Invictus.
Hustle Hard falling behind. Invictus had a really nice game plan for this event. 23-rep lead for CrossFit Invictus on the left side of your screen in the dark top and the white shorts.
I'll tell you what, Bryce Smith went unbroken on those 12-bar muscle-ups. I mean, that's a lot of unbroken reps for a big boy like that.
Hustle Hard, the only other team on the snatches for the final mile. And now here comes CrossFit Norte Redondola on the right side, and those burgundy shorts, the shirtless male on the right side of your screen. And that is David Mata.
See both guys opting for singles. Hustle Hard on the right side of your screen. Their anchor athlete is another big guy, Pierre-Henri Serrero, 6'1", 215. You know, I got to talk with him a little bit. He's an ex-professional golfer, and we're talking like PGA Tour professional golfer. I don't know a lot of professional golfers that look like this guy.
19-minute time gap. They've got 5 minutes to go. Invictus and Hustle Hard are going to have no issue.
All right, we're starting to see a theme as some of the bigger athletes opting to go at the end. One, because of the weight, and like I said before, two, because of the rep scheme. A 12.96 is a lot more generous to up maybe a taller, slower athlete at the end than it does a 21.15.9.
Played at Hawaii from 03 to 06, so he hadn't been out of school very long. And professional grade golfer. Yeah, that size you mentioned on getting one of those long drive contests.
I mean, a long drive, but if you can get on the tour, man, stay on the tour. What are you doing? Why are you doing CrossFit?
Well, you're killing yourself out here.
Now, he did say this might be he's been on the team for a long time. He owns the affiliate. He said this might be his last year, and he might think about getting back into it if he can. But he's hitting the ball a little bit further than he used to. He might need to change out his gloves.
Little shake of the shoulders there on the right side for Pierre, and again Invictus on the left side. They are leading. Bryce about done now. He'll be back for his final 6 reps with the barbell and 6 more bar muscle ups. $27 reps in each movement, so 54 reps in the 12.96.
I know Invictus is leading both Hustle Hard and Redondola by about a round. They're in the round of 6. Other 2 teams are in the round of 9. I'm already looking forward to heat number 4 because we should have some crazy races towards the finish in that 4th heat, even though Invictus is walking away with it right now.
12-rep lead for Invictus. Here come their final 6 reps of the bar muscle ups, left side of your screen. That's Hustle Hard in second place on the right side.
Now Smith went unbroken in the round of 12, but he did have to break it up a little bit in the round of 9. And you know, I appreciate the going for it, but I probably would have come down after that first 3. I don't know if that 4th rep is going to happen. The risk you run by going to failure is the word itself. Is that you can go to you can't quite go anymore, but you don't want to go to absolute failure because you'll see a couple athletes, you know, just proving my point is that, you know, you can get to a certain point where you can't hang on to that bar anymore, and that bar muscle up requires so much grip it can get dangerous.
Teammates on the right encouraging him to get in. He'll be across. So will the rest of the team. They finish in 16:51. That'll be the time to beat after 1 heat. Yeah, you mentioned that second rep. That was a pretty severe chicken wing, and I should have recognized that one.
But you're on the floor. You're the anchor leg.
CrossFit games.
Yeah, you got to games. So you got to gamble a little bit. I probably would have tried it too. I can't fault him for it.
Less than 2 minutes to go here in the first heat of the 19-minute time cap. Hustle Hard has 5 bar muscle ups remaining. Boy, Pierre looks really smooth on his set of 6. And Hustle Hard is in as well. They'll come in at 17:34. So Invictus and Hustle Hard, the 2 teams in so far. May have some teams cap out. Most of the teams on the 4th station, excuse me, the 12.96 for your second male. In fact, all the teams now on the final 12.96.
Oh, a little race there.
Redondola at the bottom of your screen. In the middle in lane 5 was Dwala. And it's going to be Dwala just edging out by 8/100ths of a second. So Invictus 16:51.19. Vondelgem will make their way in. Vondelgem 18:23. There goes Lone Star CrossFit at 18:27. Less than 30 seconds remain in the 19-minute time cap for Heat 1. 3 teams remain. Now 2 remain on the floor. CrossFit Fort Vancouver, bottom of your screen in the white and black. For the 2 teams left, Galileo and PBM in the top 2 lanes. Galileo in the all blue, still in the bar muscle ups, rolling the barbell forward is CrossFit PBM. So 7 of the 9 teams in Heat 1 will finish under the cap. Invictus for the 16:51.19. They'll have the time to beat with 3 heats remaining. And a nice job. They are one of the veteran teams. I'm sure CJ got with them, told them how to split this thing up. Let's take a look at how Invictus threw it.
What they're talking about is their grip, and grip it is, because we're just doing a whole lot of pulling with a whole lot of intensity. In the very beginning, it was kind of going back and forth between Dwala and Invictus. Invictus's first athlete getting through there. Like I said before, is that he was doing very well in the beginning, first set of 21, but, you know, Ricky Moore got a bit off a little bit more he could shoot towards the end, but when they got to the bar muscle-ups, Hustle Hard moved up into contention against Invictus, but what Tammy Wildgoose did, going unbroken end-to-end on the 12.96 on the bar muscle-up, set their final athlete up very well with Bryce Smith, who's almost a foot taller than the rest of his teammates, and you can see how excited they were to see him perform on the big stage.
So CrossFit Invictus gets the Heat win, well ahead of the other teams, the 9 teams. There's the top 5 times. Invictus 16:51. Hustle Hard 17:34. Dwala 17:59. Norte Redondo 17:59.8. And Vondelgem in an 18:23. Well, 1 heat is complete here in event number 9 inside the Coliseum. Heat number 2 is on the way for the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. There is the CrossFit campus, as we like to call it, in Madison, Wisconsin at the Alliant Energy Center. We are coming inside for the first time today inside the Coliseum. We've been outside today, but in for team event number 9, the BiCouplet relay, and it's heat number 2. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Chase Ingram. We'll be joined later by Amanda Krenz on the floor. The BiCouplet relay, a chance for the teams to have the individuals in the spotlight.
A chance for the teams to have the spotlight for the individual side, and it's a chance to go really fast. I know the Big Bob was fast, but it was just horrible. This one, this one kind of tests you guys in just a classic CrossFit format, 21-15-9, 12-9-6. Snatches, chest to bars, snatches, bar muscle-ups. It's going to be a good race.
So that's what they have ahead of them. Female, male, female, male here in the BiCouplet relay. And this is how they're going to line up in heat number 2. We've got some veteran teams, but not a lot of teams that have been here recently except for East Tabaki, so they'll be familiar with maybe splitting it up into the individuals. Backcountry was here a couple of seasons ago. They are in lane number 9. This is where strategy comes into play. You've led a team in regionals, and it comes down to how are you going to split these up? How are you going to play to the strengths?
Well, you play to the strengths of your athletes who fit the scheme of the event, right? You have 21-15-9 to lead off for your first 2 athletes. Snatches, light power snatches, and chest to bar pull-ups. So what you want to do is you want to put your, I would say, quicker, faster athlete first, because there's more repetitions, there's more time to gain. You want to put your stronger athletes on the tail end who can also handle the high-skilled gymnastics. And what's kind of funny is the paradox between the two is you put the strong person that has the best gymnastics, which means you just got to put a good CrossFitter out there.
Underway here in heat number 2, event number 9. We start with their first female. It goes 21-15-9 of the snatches and then to the chest to bar pull-ups.
Now, if you can handle the unbroken portion of this, 21 unbroken reps at 55 pounds, do it. If you can't, don't. Save your grip for the pull-ups. The snatches are going to take away much more of your pull and your grip than the chest to bar pull-ups will for most of these athletes. So putting one break in there, 12-9, shake it out, pick it back up. Maybe do the same thing on the chest to bar. Another 12-9, rest 5 to 10 seconds. And then try to hang on from the 15-9. That's what you would like to see.
Here's CrossFit Kilo, their first female. It's Kilo and Raw. 1-2. Raw is taking about a 5-rep lead over Kilo in the first couplet of 21, 15, and 9. Here is Raw off to the right side there in lane number 2. That's Maria Litweiler.
It's funny, as I said, put your shorter, faster athletes first, and Kilo comes out and sends out the tallest athlete on their team, which is Megan Lehman. She's sitting at 6'1". Now, part of that is also due to the fact that maybe bar muscle-ups aren't her forte, and for her other athlete, Kinsey Cadwell, is.
So it's Raw, Butcher's Lab, 1-2-1 early on, as you see teams jockeying for position. 1-2-1 in the blue top. There's Raw again. It's Maria Litweiler in the white top and the maroon shorts. Round of 15, and this is always the toughest round in your 21-15-9.
It's the gut check round. In terms of 15, depending on what event you're doing, in any format that involves 21-15-9, Diane, Fran, all the good ones. 15, that middle round is straight up gut check. Most of these athletes have the ability to hang on and go unbroken. It's just a matter of, do you want to be able to do that, because it doesn't feel good.
So Maria on the left side of the white top, back to the pull-up bar. So Raw, Kilo, and Butcher's Lab, your top 3. And that's Butcher's Lab on the right side in the blue top. For CrossFit Butcher's Lab, that is Christina Agerbeck. Best all-around athlete as far as the 2 females and maybe the entire team for Butcher's Lab on the right side.
But even then, you can see laboring just a little bit towards the end of these reps where the grip is starting to go, and what's going to happen is that the barbell is just going to make it worse once we get to the last set of 9. It's only 9 chest to bar pull-ups, but we already seen the grip go.
So Ager back to her final 9 snatches. Once they've completed the round of 9, it goes to the first male for the 21:15.9. Boy, it is close. 0.7 of a second there for Raw and Kilo. Kilo will jump Raw, so they'll go back and forth here. See if Maria can catch him. And it looks like Maria will catch Kilo once she got onto the pull-up bar.
You know, her advantage on the left side is just the speed of her pull-ups, where on the snatch side, it doesn't hurt to be 6'1", about 175. So that is an advantage when you're moving a bar. It's not as much of an advantage when you're doing chest-to-bar pull-ups.
And so Maria Litwiner finishes her couplet, her 21:59 and 3:46. And so Raw will hand it over to their first male to go 21:15.9, same couplet.
You see the same thing, is just a lot of over pulling, I would say, on the snatch. I know that it's light, but it's still 45 repetitions.
And that's how devastating a 21:15.9 can do. And I think she came down bad on her ankle. That's not just the 21:15.9. Maybe came down. Oh, she hit the shin maybe on the barbell. If it bounced a little bit. For backcountry CrossFit, that's Elizabeth Redmond.
Yeah, I don't know. That looks like coming off a pull-up bar to me.
Boy, you hate to see that. As the medical team will be out there quickly as her teammates.
And to her credit, she's still trying to get up to the pull-up bar. I mean, you don't need a healthy ankle to do chest bar pull-ups, but it makes it real hard to jump up there and do them. Credit her for hanging tough.
And she's still got more snatches. That barbell's not rolled back because she was down with an injury. That's back because they're still back in the round of 15.
Yeah,
so.
No, that's not what you want to see, but I mean, that takes guts. I mean, injuries do happen.
It's just going to be hard to get a lift off one foot. There you go.
Yeah.
She came to play. You're at the games.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it's not as serious as something permanently damaged, just a little twist.
It's like she's feeling a little bit more confident on that right. But anytime you twist that ankle, you roll it, it feels awful at first, and you think you've done something major, and hopefully she hasn't. Well, once the shock wears off, it's still tender, but you can get a little bit more confident on it. So we hope that's what it is.
The shock comes, like, oh, maybe it's not that bad, and you wake up tomorrow like, oh, no, it's really bad.
Well, she's still pretty ginger on it.
Yeah.
Well, a nice round of applause from the community here inside the Allied Energy Center Coliseum. Again, Elizabeth Redmond, the athlete for backcountry CrossFit, trying to finish these pull-ups.
Yeah, just got to be careful.
That may have been how it happened initially. About half the teams have their males now on to the snatches. Actually, more than half. Backcountry may be the only team, for good reason, still on those pull-ups for their first female. She has nearly completed them.
She's closing things out. The first male athletes on the floor going into their 21:15.9, 85 pounds on the snatch. Same chest to bar pull-ups as the women did.
CrossFit Kilo maintaining a 7-rep lead. They're on the left side of your screen. 172 reps into the final round. It looks like the 9 pull-ups. And that's CrossFit 1-2-1 on the right split screen. They are in lane number 1 in the white top and the blue shorts. And they're currently in 3rd.
Same with CrossFit Kilo, as they've been so consistent in doing well in their heats. And you know, what I'm saying is, like, you don't put your shorter, faster athlete first because there's less range of motion. They did quite the opposite. They put their 2 tallest athletes first for the chest to bar portion. So they'll be the first team into the heavy snatches.
So here comes Kilo. Kilo, the only team with their female athlete into the 3rd round. Kilo, Tabaki in 1-2-1. Tabaki, of course, won the swim run event earlier today as we started this morning at 10:30. So they logged an event win earlier today and got 100 points. Looks like that's Tegan Bartlett for East Tamaki on the snatches. So she's into the round of 12.96 of the snatches. She'll do the bar muscle-ups.
She's handling that barbell very well.
They're only 6 reps behind Kilo. Still 2 segments to go, the 2 12.96s.
There's a lot of event left to go because we just started getting into the second half of this event.
Middle of your screen there, you go down the right side, cycling through the bar muscle-ups. Meanwhile, left split screen is CrossFit Kilo. Kilo in lane 5, Kinsey Caldwell, the second female to go through the couplet. There's a slight chicken wing on the right side. 19-minute time cap here for event number 9. This is heat number 2. And again, Victus had a time to beat of 16:51.19. So 1-2-1 making the way back up in third place. So it's Kilo, Tamaki, and 1-2-1, your top 3 teams here in heat number 2. Caldwell, a volleyball player, played volleyball there, wrapped it up in 2014 at Northern Iowa. 2-time Missouri Valley second team selection.
Moving in the round of 9, she actually is still handling the snatches pretty well. Had to break up a little bit on the round of 12. I think it's a very good break here on the round of 9. I mean, there's no need to push yourself too far because that round of 6 reps doesn't sound like a lot until your grip is completely gone, and then you're happy just to get 1. So I like that deliberate break that she took. She just has a nice big swing, getting through with her chest, leaning back to go over the bar. I think the mistake a lot of athletes make when you do bar muscle-ups is they pull up to go to the bar. It's not really what it is. You want to get back, lean back more like a toes to bar, trying to drive the knees higher to go up and around. That initial pull is what screws up a lot of people on bar muscle-ups.
So Kilo, a 6-rep lead continuing on 1-2-1 in East Tamaki. Here we go back again. Kilo on the left side of your screen with Kinsey Caldwell. Right side of your screen is East Tamaki with Tegan Bartlett. Both in maroon tops, but again, Tamaki right side, Kilo left side. 2 of your top 3. Lane 1 on the right side of your screen now. CrossFit 1-2-1, currently in second place in the heat. Kelly McFarland, the second female to go through the couplet for CrossFit 1-2-1 out of Australia. But your leader is Kilo, left side of the screen. Seeing Kelly in 1-2-1 can make a move here. Kilo is on the muscle-ups. Kelly McFarland cycling now on the left side of your screen, and the light blue top and the maroon shorts. Again, out of Victoria, Australia. They're a 3rd in the Pacific. They're males, Kieran and Chris Hogan. They are brothers. And they are both Games veterans. Chris, an individual veteran. Kieran, a Games team veteran.
Kieran had told me he is the self-proclaimed better brother of the 2. I want to make sure I put that out there when I talk to him.
And there are the Hogans for CrossFit 1-2-1. And they are through that portion at 12:29. 16:51 the time to beat a 19-minute time cap. Again, 1-2-1 on the left side of your screen, currently in second place. Kilo now has their male in there for the 12.96 of the bar muscle-ups and the snatches.
I can start to see why they saved him for the end. I was talking to CrossFit Kilo before they came to the games and kind of wanted to know what some of them did, and I had to actually re-ask if they were messing with me, but Colton Mertens, who's holding it down for Kilo here at the end, is an actual pig farmer. And I wasn't sure if they were messing with me, but they reiterated that, no, that is in fact true.
A wrestling background for Colton Mertens, and now working on the farm out of Cedar Falls, Iowa. They've been to the games 4 times, and Kilo has not been here since 2015.
I like the way, he's just looks smooth. He's not really rushing. He's allowing himself to fall through. I think a lot of times you'll see athletes as they get fatigued is they won't get as big at the bottom as they should. They start to shorten up because they think the time it takes to do the rep is the most important thing than the actual technique it takes to do the reps. So they start to get really short and start pulling too fast, and that's where you see athletes get into trouble.
Colton's been able to help Kilo build an 11-rep lead over 1-2-1, who's on the right side of your screen. Here in the blue shorts, that's the second-place team. 11 reps behind. Cape CrossFit is now snuck into 3rd place here in the heat. Kid chasing 16:51 from Invictus in heat number 1. So there are your heat leaders on the left side of your screen. CrossFit, Kilo, and Colton Mertens. Youngest team at 24 years old, average age. Take a look at the right side of your screen. That is Cape CrossFit, the team that is currently in 3rd here in this heat. They're in lane number 4 out of Cape Town, South Africa. Went to the games back in 2011. And for Cape CrossFit, that's Richard Wobolt. So Matthew Bowerman and Richard Wobolt in their males, and that's Richard Wobolt now on the snatches. Right side of your screen for Cape CrossFit, currently in 3rd, 12 reps behind Kilo, who is on the left side of your screen. Heavier snatches here at 135, so you definitely will see those dips come in here on the power snatches. So Kilo looking to get the time to beat. They've got over a minute to do it. And they're on the round of 6 snatches. Kilo left side of your screen. They need 6 bar muscle ups in 1 minute to get the time to beat.
I think he's going to handle that just fine. He had some good breaks in the round of 9 that they needed. He didn't overdo it. A lot of times you'll see someone struggle with 1 rep and just try to squeeze out 1 more. But he had a good break in the round of 9. He should be able to hang on for this last reps for the round of 6. Oh, there, that's the problem, is that as soon as your hand comes off the bar, even if he was able to recover, it's going to be a no rep.
See plenty of people say that in the gym, but it's not going to count officially. There it is, solid rep, and here comes the rest of Kilo. Kilo will register 16:27.76, a new time to beat. About 24 seconds quicker than CrossFit Invictus in heat number 1. Raw and 1-2-1 should be the next 2 teams. 1-2-1 left side of your screen. That's Cape CrossFit on the right side. They have snuck around, and Cape right now and switching back and forth in 3rd and 4th place, but Raw should be your next team. Let's see. I don't know if Cape's making a little bit of a move, cycling a little bit quicker, but that's the final reps here for 1-2-1. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the 19-minute time cap. Here is CrossFit Raw, very steady through the event. They are in at 17:24. So it's Kilo and Invictus, your top 2 teams through the first 2 heats of event number 9. Lane number 4, Cape CrossFit. Cape CrossFit's going to be in at 17:46, and now in lane number 1, looks like 1-2-1 made their way in at 17:51 even.
Now we had that little back and forth between Cape CrossFit and 1-2-1, and then Raw, who had a very slow first half, had some very strong athletes on the second half and just kind of snuck their way up between about 4 or 5 teams they were behind to pull up off second place.
East Tamaki will be your next team to get in. 18:22. You got a few reps to go. And these are the first 2 heats. We still have 2 heats remaining, so the time's standing now, but still 20 more teams to go. And those will be the top 20 teams coming up. 20 seconds remaining for this 19-minute time cap. This crowd trying to get these athletes in, and they are going to be in and under the cap. East Tamaki, who got the event win in event number 6 this morning, will finish event number 9 as the clock hits 19 and everyone else is going to be capped out. Kilo, a new time to beat, 16:27.76. They are now the event leader through 2 heats.
And this is the 3rd time they've done it in 3 events. You know, CrossFit Kilo, big fans of heat number 2 because they keep winning it. And it was another one of those, it was kind of start to finish, a little back and forth here in the very beginning between Megan Lyman, starting things off, got past a little bit towards the end. Then we had that unfortunate injury there for backcountry, but still able to finish and tough through that. So a good display of just toughness and grit for her teammates. You know, at this point in time, we really don't have a choice, but see how she handles those snatches afterwards. And, you know, I think a lot of that's just, you know, toughness, adrenaline. But then came the race to the second half. So picking up for Megan was Kinsey Caldwell. She did her job. Then 1-2-1 started to get in the mix with Kelly McFarland. But it was Kilo towards the end. Their anchor leg, Colton Mertens, just steady through it. Good breaks in the bar muscles when he needed to. Gave CrossFit Kilo that Heat 2 win.
Kilo, the new time to beat. And there's a look at Elizabeth Redmond as they're going to help her off the floor. And a little banged up now. We hope that ankle is okay through 2 heats. Hopefully able to come back and compete tomorrow on the final day. But through 2 heats, here are your top 10 times. Kilo and Invictus go 1-2. The only 2 teams that have gone sub 17 minutes. Kilo with the best overall time of 16:27.76. So 2 down, 2 remaining from the Coliseum and the Alliant Energy Center campus here at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games.
Australia, CrossFit Melbourne.